Good morning. OPSEC, or Operation Security, is a very vital part of the military as far as the missions go, family safety, and soldier safety. OPSEC, as defined by the military, is a process of identifying critical information and subsequently analyzing friendly actions attending to military operations and other activities. You can find all the policies and procedures of OPSEC in AR 530-1, Parent 3-1. OPSEC is everybody's responsibility, not just the commander's responsibility or the soldier's responsibilities. It includes the families and friends of anybody that will be deployed or not deployed. It applies to security during peacetime, crisis, and during war. Loose lips sink ships is a common phrase that was brought about during the World War II era and afterwards. It just pertains to the fact that do not speak what you know. Because simple things that you think aren't harmful to the security of the mission are very essential, in fact. How many of you have been deployed? And how many of you are married or have family? Simply imagine being on the opposite end and your spouse deployed, or a family member, your brother or your mother, or children or whoever, and you just talked to them 12 hours ago and they were completely healthy, fine, said everything was safe. And then you get a text message from a friend of a friend of a friend who got an email about your family member dying. This is the incorrect way for you to find out about these kinds of things. There's a procedure and there's blackouts during deployments specifically for these purposes. Threats during OPSEC are considered adversaries or enemies. They can be foreign intelligence services, terrorist groups, criminals, business competitors, disgruntled or dishonest employees, hackers, or others. Basically, anybody with the purpose of misusing our information to harm us or to benefit themselves. Common OPSEC misconceptions include, but are not limited to, that OPSEC is not an intelligence function. OPSEC is 100% an intelligence function. That is its sole priority. That OPSEC is not how to mark or handle or store your classified documents. It's one of the main points that they teach you during OPSEC, is how to take care of those kinds of things. And that OPSEC is how to manage military travel information, which is actually one of the most commonly violated OPSEC information out there. Common excuses that are definitely not valid that people use when they're violating OPSEC and they didn't know or they knew. But it's already out in open source, so why can't I use it? Because it's already out in open source doesn't mean that it's not a violation of OPSEC, it just means that it's out there and somebody hasn't caught it yet. But I'm not in Iraq or Afghanistan. Why does it matter? It matters because, again, OPSEC applies to all situations, foreign and domestic, OCONUS or CONUS, so it doesn't matter. And why would anybody care about me? There's probably a lot of people who care about you, your families, your friends, the military, but it's not just about you. Simple things that you can put out there can put others' lives in harm. OPSEC facts. Over 80% of intelligence collection is unclassified. That pertains to the fact that most intelligence that people collect for our adversaries is commonly accessible. Anybody can access it. OPSEC denies adversary access to critical information, and OPSEC identifies what to protect, when, and how to protect it. 77% of online persons use the internet in connection to the Iraq war on any given day. You can go into blogs and view blogs that are put up by journalists, soldiers, family members, and gain access to relatively simple information that can be used against us. Policies and procedures, again, you can find these in AR 530-1. And if you violate OPSEC when you're in the military, it's punishable under UCMJ Article 92. Civilians can also be punished for that by regular law. Pictures showing locations of where you are. One of the most common OPSEC violations are persons who use social media networks. Social media networks are the #1 source nowadays to gain simple intelligence. For example, here's a screenshot of somebody's Facebook post that they put on here. They violated movement, location, unit equipment efficiency, attack effectiveness, friendly timelines, response to attack, the enemy effectiveness, security vulnerability, and the base security measures. In this, they put down what unit they're with, where they're located, when they're coming home, and they posted it on their timeline on their Facebook page. Everybody can access that. You don't go in and change your settings actually now, the public can view it as well. This is just a little play on words. The location of our Batcave is meant to be secret, so stop checking in. That's in reference to Facebook as well. Everybody's checking in all the time now. You can actually see when people check in Iraq and Afghanistan, it shows up the province that they're in and their location. And OPSEC 4, sanitize your work area before the photographer arrives. This is an actual picture of a photographer coming to do an interview, and they did not shut down any of their security networks prior to them walking in. These are just simple things that bypass you that you don't think about on a day-to-day basis. A very famous breach of information was in March 31st, 2003, Geraldo Rivera went to Iraq to report, and he visibly on live television drew in the sand a diagram of the attack that was about to take place, and it was supposed to take place in the next 5 minutes. Nothing bad happened from it, but he was immediately escorted from theater, and I don't believe he was authorized to go back. Sensitive information pertains to a lot of things. It's really important measure to keep our soldiers safe. So just ensure that you're always conducting OPSEC correctly. There's training that can be done. You can read articles about it. You can ask your command groups or anything, and make sure that your family and your friends are also aware on what needs to be done to protect this information. Did you start?